Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's session. Many of you has asked about the hiring for data roles, so I will share my experience today. As a data science leader, I have been on both sides of the table, as a candidate and as a hiring manager. Today's content is very practical, so we'll explore the entire process from job posting to final hiring decisions. So here is the agenda. This deck is designed to be a future reference guide for hiring data talent. So I'll prepare very detailed slides so you can refer to in the future. And also for today's major topic, we will cover every component in the data role hiring process. And also I would talk about the recruiting phase and also candidate pool creation. Later, we will discuss the entire interview components, including set up the interview panel, set up the questions, assessment, criteria, and also final decision making. I believe we wanted to talk about the job market because right now it's very different from like years ago. So I will focus on my experience in Bay Area, especially for data scientists, data analytics, and data engineers. I will share my experience. And lastly, I will make a summary for this entire hiring process and the strategic insights for data leaders. This is the first page. I want to show like entire hiring process. First, we have requisition creation. Requisition creation means we wanted to start job requirements, prepare the descriptions, and request approvals from leaders. Once the job is posted, in the second one, the job posting, we will work with recruiters and sourcers on the sourcing strategies and candidate filtering. So the candidate screening, this is very important, especially when we have a really large pool. We may want to review the resumes and possibly we wanted to reach out to candidates on LinkedIn. And sometimes very strong candidates will reach out to you directly as well, send you an email on LinkedIn or send you a message over email. So we wanted to be very careful of setting up the interviewing questions and also criteria for such screening and interviews. That will help the recruiter decide who to contact first. Design the interview process with your team, determine the panel members, and also what are the questions we want to cover, especially like when we have cross-functional um, jobs like data scientists or analysts working with another function, we may want to involve like one business partner in the interview as well. Finally, if you see a very good candidate, you may want to chat with him more, talk about the team, talk about the project we're doing, and help the candidate understand the team and structure better. So eventually, we wanted to extend an offer, so the candidate will be happy to take the offer. So negotiation may take weeks, especially if the candidate has multiple offers. I saw like very strong candidates. They are probably gonna have multiple offers, and when you talk to them, they may say like, "Oh, I need a little bit more time." So that's absolutely normal. So I always see like strong candidates, they have multiple offers and they wanted to discuss more about the role, more about the work, and more about the team. Once the offer is accepted, we are going to welcome the person to join the team and also set up this first 30-day, first 60-day, and the first 90-day plan for the new hire. Okay, here we wanted to dive deep a little bit on the candidate screening and initial filtering. So in general, like the recruiters, they are very important in terms of this process. Recruiters know how to use the internal tools like Greenhouse, which is one very important tool for hiring talents, track the interview process, and also manage the entire um, pool for candidates. And usually, the recruiters will ask hiring managers like, what are the criteria, for example, like schools, experience, companies, skills, like tools they are using, but also some like soft skills, like we wanted to hire people who are willing to teach and coach other people if this is a senior role, or we want to hire people who are really want to like environment that's collaborative and also supporting to each other. And senior leaders, like they are usually not the hiring managers. They are one level, multiple levels above. They generally do not engage in the routine screening, but more focus on high level, like giving guidance, who we want to hire, who we want to target, and what are the skills and the projects we want to align with the company's prioritization, and also talent policies, diversity goals. They will give more information about this. And for interviewing and assessment process, in general, I would say like we wanted to design this process really well. If you are on the panel, no matter it's a hiring manager or one of the interviewers, you want to ask about interview plan. What are the questions we want to ask? What are the evaluation criteria we want to use across all candidates? If you are the hiring manager, along with the recruiters, your manager, engineering partners, business partners, I typically run like two interview tracks. One is like more engineering driven roles like software engineer, like machine learning engineers or AI engineers, data engineers. The other track is business track, like marketing, product, finance, or other areas in the company. So we wanted to have both signals like technical skills and also communication and the collaboration skills. Some candidates that are really good, like excel in the technical communication, but struggle when they work with stakeholders. Um, so for senior roles, especially like very important technical roles, we want to evaluate not only the technical skills but also the communication abilities. And for post-interview evaluation, like decisions, we wanted to give offer or not. So I would say like after interviews, prioritize collecting feedback from each panel member. Understand why they voted yes or no. Or even like for positive votes, you want to understand what are the signals they collected. Learn about the signals, but also learn about concerns and the reasons for strong recommendations. I see many times like when we have a strong candidate, we want to chat with every panel members and assess how likely they are going to accept our offer. They may have multiple offers, like strong candidates. They probably interview multiple companies at the same time. So we want to develop strategies to attract the top candidates. For example, follow-up calls or inviting them to discuss with senior leaders or set up another discussion with the entire team to see um, whether the strong candidate is happy with the entire working environment, but also giving our team a chance to welcome the new hire, even they are not joining or not decided to take the offer yet, but we want to treat the strong candidate as already in the team. Also, as a hiring manager, prioritize the team needs and culture over technical skills alone. Technically, I would say like a lot of candidates they're really good, um, but in terms of the collaboration, fitting into the team, that will be a different question. You wanted to collect signals from the interview. For the offer stage, like the offer preparation, negotiation, finance team, human resources, recruiting team, and you as a hiring manager will have a meeting together to discuss salary based on the market data, but also discuss the leveling. If there are multiple levels, could be options. Companies typically provide guidance on salary range for each market, and also senior leaders may join discussions if the candidates request higher compensation. Each level and role has guidance and involving budget and HR considerations, making sure like the offers are really competitive, but also the offers are within the range or getting leadership approval first. If everything goes well, the candidates receive an offer. Give them some time to consider, like maybe 3 days, maybe 5 days, but definitely not too long, because we are not going to give the candidates to other companies if we leave the very long window. So expect some negotiations, but also push a little bit if the candidate asks for more time. You may want to find a balance between like you want their commitments quickly, but also don't pressure candidates too much. All right, so the next part is about the structured interview design and scoring. So here I want to give one real example, like how I design the questions for candidates. I usually put into five components into consideration. Number one is technical questions. Number two, behavior questions. Number three, more like situational questions. Number four is for like entire panel. What is the scoring rubric? I will let every panel member understand like how I evaluate from 1 to 4, like yes, strong yes, no, strong no. If it's a borderline yes or borderline no, I will still encourage the panel members to provide signals so that other panel members can ask follow-up questions if the signals in the previous rounds are not clear. The last one is reducing bias. This is particularly important for data and AI roles. These roles are very new. Like the jobs probably were created like 10 years ago. Before like 2014, I don't think there was an official data science job title. So that means there are many people from different backgrounds, could be like from statistics, like I was, could be from computer science, could be from like economics or chemical engineering or physics. So for data roles, the backgrounds of the candidates usually really broad. We wanted to make sure we don't give very biased questions or give the very biased rating based on our experience. Here, I also wanted to say like we want to follow the guidelines from the recruiting and the HR guidance. So each level and also each role, we may want to reach out to like recruiters or HR, like how we can best avoid some prohibited interview questions and also use the consistent standardized interview questions and scoring rubrics to reduce bias. And incorporate diversity, equity, and inclusion policies, and also ensure all the interviewers are trained on the legal compliance and recognize questions or behaviors that could lead to discrimination claims. The best experience for candidates. Here I put like two columns here. I will focus on the best practice for candidate experience. I think both sides, like candidates and interviewers, we want to be on time to show respect. If there's anything last minute, let's say we want to reschedule or the candidate want to reschedule, give at least 24 hours, give at least a day or two. And also, when we talk to the candidates, we want to explain the hiring process, um, and tell them what are the step by step, what sh they should be expecting over the next couple of days, how long we will work on this hiring process, um, when do they expect to hear from us after the interview, and also before the interview, we could also give like pre-interview preparation tips. And also, we want to use scheduling tools to ensure everyone receive reminders. And after the interview, if we really like the candidates, we want to send a personalized follow-ups rather than the generic emails. So some red flags like avoid delayed feedback, do not reschedule due to interviewer availability or poor communication. If the candidates are not our top choice, still give them a good experience. This is about the company brand, not just for hiring, but also prevent negative reviews on the platform like Glassdoor. So here I want to share some market data and the conversion rates. According to Career Plug survey, the applicant to interview rate is about 2%. I agree with this figure. Generally, I see 1 out of 50 candidates is worth interviewing. With many fixed profiles now in the market, like many AI generated profiles, this number may be even lower. If you have 200 to 300 candidates, aim to bring like 6 to 8 to initial screening. Like for smaller pools, around 100 candidates, post jobs on LinkedIn and other platforms like Indeed and to ask for referrals. I recommend having 3 to 4 finalists before making a hiring decision. Having just one candidate might introduce bias. We are hiring managers. We typically want to have multiple finalists so that we can set up the baseline. Sometimes the market is really tight and strong candidates don't stay available long. In this case, decide quickly with your recruiter who understand the market conditions. Here, I want to say Career Plug reports a 36 conversion rate, basically 1 out of 3 finalists. From my experience, it's closer to 1 out of 4 or 1 out of 5. Meaning like we have 5 finalists, we have probably bring one to the final offer stage. AI's impact on data job market. So for AI, machine learning, I would say like Python is the key tool. And also there are multiple functions under AI and machine learning. One is called generative AI search since like 2023. So generative AI means like we have like large language model, we have like computer vision to create a image or video. I see a lot of jobs like AI engineers, AI research scientists are growing really fast. And also, I observe like for data roles, not only in tech, but also in finance, traditional industries, healthcare, manufacturing, I see they are observing the AI talents into those sectors. And also in Bay Area, I would say like San Francisco, which is center AI right now. All the startups in AI wanted to have a presence in San Francisco or Bay Area in general. So there are many new startups here, and leading to a more and more focus in the AI talent pool or AI hub in San Francisco Bay. Regarding the data talent requirements, we just touched a little bit in the previous slide. So Python is the key. Python is the #1 programming language in data and machine learning, and also SQL, SQL, we want to query the data using SQL and many data platforms using a SQL-based querying language. Machine learning skills are still considered as a requirement in many data fields, especially like for data science, analytics, and BI, for prediction, clarification, and also segmentation, recommendation. A lot of very popular machine learning algorithms should be required in the interview process. And also cloud platforms like AWS or Microsoft or Google, these are very important for big data, especially like managing production for machine learning and AI models involving large amount of data sets. Cloud is the solution to many large data sets or big data related issues. Small data, on the other side, I would say relies more on the business domain knowledge, especially like healthcare or insurance in our case. And also, communication is very important. Collaboration is also important. Be willing to work and learn from others. That's also important. Um, Data engineer in the fifth bullet point. I see this industry related to like big data, data engineering, data architecture, data governance. The demand grows so fast, so we require a lot of like big data expertise. I understand how to use big data tools, and also we would like to have candidates who are very experienced, who have experience of years in data engineering and ETL. So again, the skills are evolving. The requirements vary depending on the role, depending on the company. But I would, generally speaking, like programming language, you want to set up the requirements, and also AI machine learning expertise, um, continuous learning, and data engineering, business acumen, and communication. These are the five categories you want to be really clear about in the job description. And also for data roles categories, you wanted to set up really clear definition for these roles. The first line, the first group represents traditional data roles, like data science is newer, but still often rebranded from analyst roles. The key difference is that data science are more capable or understand more about machine learning and end-to-end data production. And the data analysts and BI more focus on insights, visualization, dashboards, and ETL. So that's how I see the difference between these two. And the second row, I would say like the data engineer, machine learning engineer, AI engineer, they are more on the engineering path, meaning that they usually work with algorithms and machines, cloud computing more than simply just like data. Data engineer, even is called data engineer, but a lot of times they are focused more on the data infrastructure pipelines, like software or cloud services, rather than diving into one specific data set and understand what's the insights inside. Machine learning engineer and AI engineer are often inter-exchangeable or exchangeable in general. Machine learning operations focus on DevOps and monitoring. Here, I didn't include ML ops here, but I want to mention like sometimes these two roles, machine engineer and AI engineer, they have responsibilities on DevOps and monitoring. So in general, like between data scientist and AI engineer, data science more focus on prototyping, and AI engineer, including machine learning engineers, are more focused on model production, more advanced modeling algorithms, not just like prototyping. Here, I make a more specific comparison between data scientist and AI engineer. So these two are still very popular these days. So I see like data scientists more evolving into like production, AI engineer more evolving into infrastructure from algorithms. So keep up to date, do some research before opening a new requisition for these two roles. You may see 1 year from now, there are gonna be a lot of big differences for sure as the industry grows. Okay, there are some other roles under data. I will quickly touch on this. One is research scientists who are developing new algorithms or models with a strong focus in academic style research, like publishing papers. There are examples like Google, they have DeepMind. Microsoft, they have Microsoft Research. And also Amazon, they have research scientists focused on optimization and supply chain. Data privacy officer, AI ethics officer, these are more like a function rather than a role, mostly focus on like ethical considerations and legal regulations. And this is the last page, like the key takeaways from today's session. Also, based on my past experience, I would highly recommend defining key roles and responsibilities, especially when you open a new role and discuss the job description with recruiters. Understanding the definition for each role in the hiring process, especially like for data is growing so fast. We have different definitions over time. We have evolving definitions. So making sure you align with the latest information in the market. And also align recruitment with AI, machine learning, and cloud skills. 2 years ago, ChatGPT just came out, and there was no like LangChain, no Llama Index. You know, a lot of tools are quite new these days, as opposed to like traditional statistical and machine learning skills. Cloud skills are always highly valued and respected. Ensure the compliance and foster diversity in talent. We want to make sure like we don't give discrimination. We want to keep consistent criteria and also assessment across all candidates. Lastly, adapt to market change. Like the company, they started a new team, data team or analytics team or data engineering team. So 1 year later or 5 years later, the market situation may be totally different. Like we may need more data governance than data engineer, or we may have a different set of tools. We may no longer need cloud computing. We may need more like AI computing or other type of skills. I'm just giving examples. I do not make predictions of the future, but I see like every 3 to 5 years, the set of knowledge and the skills will be refreshed. I would call it that way. Like as a leader, I see like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, the tools I used before are no longer popular as today. I remember like when I was at a school, we use several software on Minitabs, SAS, SAS. So, but I don't see a lot of tech company use them anymore. All right, so here is the end of this slide for today, and thank you so much. If you have any questions about hiring, about evaluating talents or anything, please let me know. I'd be happy to help. All right, have a good rest of the day.